Okay guys, welcome back to Create Mod episode 2. We're going to get into a couple things with a couple more farms we're going to build. We're going to go to the Nether, and I'm finally going to build a drill to help me mine some materials around. I have a couple more pieces I want to help get set up before we get into some serious building and start designing out a couple more things, getting our first workshop up and running that we'll need. So let's go ahead and get into it. We have a little more farming we need to do, get stuff ready, and then we can get into some of the farms we need to make. So first of all, QV things that I forgot to mention last episode, which is where you're going to see some gold here, is that to keep these locked where they don't instantly pull all the items, and then I start burning things like gravel and iron, which I might have burned a couple of, is I need to get these items locked in these drawers with this specific key right here, this first drawer key. So I had to go get some of the gold and stuff on myself, which is also why I got some of the diamonds down there, make some upgrades so I can lock these down. So first of all, let me get one gravel here, put it back into this drawer. What we do is we take the flint, we put it in here, we take this key, right click, and you see this little lock symbol that pops up here. That means now that when I flip this back on, it keeps this locked to flint. It keeps it like there's no flint in here, but it'll only accept flint into the storage drawer. So I need to do it to this. Oh, I need to make one key. Oh, good to know the future. So you need one key to do a certain type of lock. But now I will lock these drawers, so now they won't empty out and fill up with gravel and start spitting gravel back into the machine and burning those up. So I keep those keys for later. So if you built the farms in the last episode, just remember those keys this time. So like I said, there's a bit of mining I want to do before we get into some of the farms in this episode. What I really want is to make a giant drill mechanism. So getting to the Nether will be pretty important for some of these resources. So if you look up in here, the cart assembler, it's a pretty cheap recipe. I can use these to build vehicles basically that I can use to help me. I can use my wrench to pick them up, move them around, and build things like drills, vehicles, and stuff to transport. Once I make my base larger, need to move things from location to other, like trains, I can build these with a cart assembler to move items around easier. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to take some of our iron out to build a mine cart and build rails. And there's a couple more pieces we'll need to put the machine, but I'll show you that once we get into the actual assembling process. Oh yes, I also fixed my gear ratios. I realized what I was missing was, some of that andesite casing. You can put it on the sides of the gears, and it'll prevent them from taking the rotation from the previous gear. So I put those on, and I can use it to speed up gears and get increased speed. The problem is this creates a lot of stress, so you can't do this too many times, and there is a maximum speed you can go. So I didn't worry about getting the maximum speed. I just did it with the space I had by going from big gear to little gear, taking a big gear to take it uses the smaller gears will spin faster than the large gear, so it'll make more rotation for the bigger gears to then spread it to another one, and it'll keep increasing the speed. So it's a very useful trick to get a lot more speed faster before we have speed rotation locks and everything. Instead of going down there, I'll probably go over to this lava pool. There's another windmill. I'll go loot this windmill too. I might even take the bearings. I can use that for one of the farms I'm going to need later. But let's go to this lava pool. I want to build a nether pool first because there's a farm that will help me a lot, a couple farms. But I want to get up and running before I do several things, and help me save a lot on andesite. So I recommend doing this pretty early. You don't gotta go far in the Nether. I'm gonna be pretty careful. I'm not exactly like fully prepped for it. But there is one specific machine that once I get the materials, I can show you what it does, and it will help this process a lot faster. And I won't have to just keep mining for andesite. By the way, quick shout out to Epic the Musical. I've been singing it this whole time. If you haven't heard that yet, you're missing out. Shout out Jorge River Hands. Be cool? Alright, later. I think for right now what I'll do is I'll just build the lava pool over here. So I don't gotta mine out all the obsidian right now. And then I can move it over later. Or if I want to build it over here, who cares? I remember how to do this. I don't. Awesome. God, my intelligence is just shining through right now. The pure genius that is me playing Minecraft. I'm sorry, how did that make that happen? It's funny that I got flint and steel when it's the two things that I have set up on a farm. Thank you. Here we are. I doubt the crate mod's any Nether's any different than crate mod, but we'll find out. Literally the sole reason we're here is to grab quartz. I'll grab a little gold while I'm here. No, I have a plan for my starter base. It's gonna involve some terraforming, but that's something I gotta get used to anyway. Anyone that knows a crate mod might know what I need some of these blocks for, but if you don't, this will be a pretty cool and useful machine that it's good as early as possible. I'm glad it's right outside my portal, basically. I can even use this drill machine eventually to come back here and mine for some ancient debris. It can be a little risky sometimes with all the lava deposits you can find. I'll need to make sure I'm at the right depth. I don't trust myself. Yeah, these are the lava pockets we're talking about that I was not wary of. Love the Nether, man. Glad I'm here. Whose great idea was the Nether? I have choice words for them. Someone got a promotion for inventing the Nether. And they should have got fired. Sorry, buddy. Hey, if I sleep, it resets the day. You're fine. Relax. Okay, for this machine, I will need 2 final ingredients. One of which, luckily, I planted these for. It's sand on a piece of paper like this. It makes sandpaper. Now we take some of this redstone. Whoa, not like that. We get this rose quartz. We need to take the rose quartz in our hand, put it in our offhand, grab the sandpaper, and we can use that to make polished rose quartz. I should forgot one crucial step to this. I am going to need a blaze, so I gotta go back to the Nether. Back to the Nether we go, we go. No, 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 no. Alright, let's get a blaze and get out. I guess there's some new stuff in the Nether. Calm BS now. Good, good. Played that very poorly. I did not bring enough food for this. No part of that I liked. Every part of me clenched. That's the route I took. Don't do that. Dang, everything's just everywhere. Oh, this ain't looking good. Please no lava. Alright, let's have it. Let's do it. I just die here. So golly. Let's make a little more preparation. My stuff shouldn't have burned because I have a body mod. So like my corpse falls on the ground and has my loot, so I can go claim it. I guess a valid thing is I don't know if that burns, but we'll find out. Either way, I'm not in a good place. And am I embarrassed? Yeah. Why didn't I make gold armor? I don't know. At least you're doing good. I seem to like to find a way to make every step of this process just a little more difficult. Hello, Abby Lee Miller. I am back. That is the name I picked, by the way, in the comments, so thank you for that. I take my original path around the whole thing to get back to my stuff. Oh. Well, you just don't want to. I'll make one last mad dash. Was it you, little lady? Alright, here's my route. Please don't. Please don't. I've been through so much. I'm on the edge. That actually sent a shiver to my spine. Just making sure that wasn't real. That was like a bell sound. That's terrifying. Okay. My body. It doesn't burn. Okay. Let's take the path to get back and I'm trying the other direction. I think I'm trying to end my life. Christ almighty. What's the worst I felt on a successful mission ever? You can just give me another fortress. We don't have to be like this. Good evening, officer. Wasn't seeing you here. Why are you looking at me like that? I never want to come back here again. I'm scared enough without the sounds. I promise you not to intimidate me. Holy crap. Ladies and gentlemen, I really need to be here for 2 seconds. Sheer panic. If we do this. Barely into this episode. I'm not gonna say how long I've been playing. Because I don't want to. You know, all things considered, I had a decently successful first episode. I thought last episode went bad. No. I just can't prepare for anything. I just dive in head first and I'm like, dang, why did I fail? I can't believe that went wrong. This way. Tiptoe through the window by the garden. Okay. This has been an experience. One I never want to experience again, but it's one I've experienced. See, I want to be done recording by now. That didn't go well. 250 blocks. Okay, I can't afford that kind of encounter again. Are you the devil? Strike me! You've never held back before. We're not worth your time? Okay. We're by no means fun, but we're back in business. Let's get out of here and do the stuff I want to do. Home, sweet home. Oh, I missed this windmill. All of this was to make brass for a very certain the machine I wanted to make. So to make brass, we use a mixing station with copper and zinc. We'll be using the brass ingots to make deployers. So I've got one of these. We've got our andesite casings. Just need the brass hands, which I need 4 brass plates for. So I just need to mix 2 copper and 2 zinc ingots, which we have plenty of. 2, 1, 2, and that will mix. Get these pressed up. Okay, now that we have our deployer, we can place it in right here. So now, if we can click right here, we can give the deployer an andesite case, the andesite alloy, and it'll actually never consume it. So if it was a depot right here, the deployer will stop, and as soon as we place a stripped log on it, it'll press down and make an andesite casing. Okay, so I can use this to automate or help make andesite casings and things like that more efficient. And there are certain blocks I found out that are never ending, like honeycomb blocks will forever stay in the deployer's hand. I don't need to replace that. Let's get some more brass. That's quite a bit of brass. Let's put it to use. So I wanted a 5x5 drill just to carve out a nice tunnel. Make kind of a widespread. We're going to set it up using the card assembler. Then we're going to take it down into the mines. Oh yeah. That somehow cheered me up. Okay, now let's get the furnace minecart placed down. Place the cart assembler over top. We will now, for now, take this deployers because I don't need this one for the automation at the moment. So I get more materials. We'll place it right here. Okay, now we're going to make a plow. Now let's put this plow back here. So all the tracks this deployer places will be picked up by the plow. Let's get this barrel on top. Put all of our tracks inside. Also, a quick tip I found when doing research online before doing this video, make sure you move the cart assembler to lock rotation. There's some builds that can pivot on its axis for certain farms. So if you want to do it like this, make sure that your drill goes in a straight line. Now we need to get our glue that we got earlier and glue all of this together. Okay, so now what we can do is if we get a little redstone signal right here, put next to the cart assembler and right click. So I've been having computer problems today, but I'll reset so you can see it. Is when I right click, you can kind of see it pop. What that means is whenever I go over here and shift right click this minecart, I can pick up the whole drill and it is put in my inventory. Okay, so right here should be a good place to start on the drill, I think. Continue off in this direction. Let's place our rail down. Place the cart assembler. Place down our machine. There we go. Should be able to fuel our furnace, get in our seat right here, and we should be able to carry on and pick up all our materials. One thing I think could be interesting is if we put another deployer down right here, or off to the side, we can place torches for us as well, but I'm not worried about that right now. If this becomes a mob pit, that's fine. Alright, and here we go. So I'll just need to give it some coal every now and then, and that should be good. One of the problems is I don't have a deployer for blocks. So it can't get stuck like this. You might have to go around and place a pathway for it, which isn't too much of a problem. It's gotten plenty of blocks that I can place. I'm not getting the best return on ores. I think to get better, I'd have to go down a couple more layers, but again, this is a good test run, so. Plus, I'm still finding plenty, so not to worry about it. We're also going to run this on some higher levels, because it will need some of my blocks I'm going to want to use for the next video to get my starter base finally up and running, turn into a little workshop. Anyway, we're about to run out of resources. I think we'll call it there. Let's go ahead and run this at a higher level. It'll go a little faster. Hopefully I can get some more coal, which I really need. This will also help me start getting the blocks I need for my build. And let's call it there for now. I'll run it some more. I'll run it some more to get some of my resources before I start building. Now they have brass tubes and our a way to get electron tubes, everything like that. I should probably sort out our storage system. Everything's disorganized and I'm running out of space. Let's check out our haul. There we go. Got some good amount of blocks to use. Okay, these are the ones I was looking for. Some more, a little bit more andesite. This is a good haul. Okay, let's get started on our item vault. We'll need to get one of our brass ingots. Go over here. Take our brass ingot, brass casing. First brass casing. There we go. We'll need 6 copper plates. Let's go ahead and get this hooked up. The rest of our machines. Those need to get moved eventually. You can also make these into contraptions if you want to transfer them other places. But for right now, if you place them out like this, we'll have to connect. You can go to the back side. Place them like that. So let's now extend this vault out. As big as I want it. And here is what we do with the front. So I'm going to place a stock link that is linked up to this machine. Actually, let me put that back up. The stock link on the side of the machine. We'll then take this display link, right click so it connects with the stock link. I'll place it just for now. I'll place it here. Successfully connected together. What I can do is I can connect this packager up to the vault. I'll place this seat down, and once I go get an animal, I can put him in this chair and he will act as a worker that I can talk to and signal to call out for items that I place in this vault to come into the packager where I can collect them. Let's go, buddy. Let's go to your forever home where you're gonna sit and be a worker for me right in this chair for the rest of your life. Get in the chair. Get in the chair, come on. Sit down. You're being stubborn. I'm trying to give you employment. That did not happen. Okay, hopefully you will not share the same fate. Come on. Come on, in the seat. Hey! You work for me now. Okay, so I forgot I'll need a second stock link to make my stock ticker. So I can actually connect up the machine next to the sheep. This actually will turn him into a worker. So I can now see inside inventory. So let's go and make some chutes. And these will actually be useful to me now. I can put them on the side to get up to my chutes. Let's actually place a barrel on top of one of these chutes just to make things a little bit easier. So all I gotta do is if I put all these items inside the barrel, once you make sure your stock taker is connected up to your stock link before you place it down. It may also be recommended to put the packager over here directly attached to the stock link instead of having them connected. Okay, now that's all hooked up to the stock link and the stock ticker. And the sheep, there's my item. So if I requested, say I wanted my oak planks back, I'll click send. It'll pop out this package. And there we go. There's my items. Let's go ahead and get all of our stuff moved into our item vault. All right, and there we go. All our barrels, everything are cleaned out. All the chests here cleared out, barring the rails. And we have all our inventory here. Now I actually need to organize all this. So it's a little, I can find my items a little easier, but for right now, I think that is already so much better. Finally, last thing before we get out, there's a couple more farms I wanted to build, but I think for right now, what I have time for is I just want to build a couple of food farms. That'll help me get everything, that'll help me not having my hunger bar empty and no food anywhere to be seen. And then the rest of the farms I'll work on tomorrow before I start building. Oh, by the way, I just want to say thank you for the first episode. Got a pretty good amount of views, way more than I was expecting. Pretty positive feedback. It was great to see. So if you want me guys to keep it up, keep the series going, just let me know. Having a lot of fun with it, so I got no problem. Alright, let's do a little terraforming and then we can get this farm up and running. Forgot my harvesters. Ooh, if I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. So right up here, we'll start by digging down. And then right here, I will get the big water, which I don't think I need anything this big, but it's fine. Okay, that works. We'll waterlog this top block. And then what we do is we will place this mechanical bearing on top. Well, that was unfortunate. I'll roll my pants down. Now my shield on me. So one thing I forgot to mention is that these connections on the side are kind of finicky. So you kind of have to place these trapdoors like this to actually get it glued up to the bearing. I'm gonna put this on top so that it can actually spin with the bearing. So let's get this all glued up after placing a storage right here. Now let's actually get on top of the machine, start it up so I can get the land tilled out. So go right here, go to the side. Oh. So we accidentally connected the ground. I think I find new ways to embarrass myself every episode, which is great. Some sort of entertainment, I guess. Okay, so hopefully that's fixed now. Okay, good. Now to actually get it all tilled, we're gonna stand up here in the middle, off the side. We can hold our hoe. It gives us the right kind of shape we want to make sure we get all the areas that this thing can actually till. We're gonna start with a pretty simple farm, and then we can expand it to make sure this thing doesn't catch me or it will kill me. So we'll do like some wheat, couple carrots, and then once I get more carrots, more potatoes, I'll probably start with the wheat for that or at another farm. Okay, now we're going to, one thing I actually forgot to glue in was the portable storage interfaces. Actually break this trapdoor, place this. Oh yes. Once I start, I can't stop it. I was just gonna land and break those blocks. So I actually need to make sure it's facing out. And then I will start it up again. retill this area. And then I'll need to place the portable storage interface over here. So you need to give it a block of space. Face into each other. And you'll see once it comes around here, I should connect up. So once these are all planted and it gets blocks inside of the barrel, it'll put them into this portable storage interface, and now I can connect it up to the item vault. Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to use this to learn a new thing that I've been wanting to try out for a long time. So actually right now, if I find some ferns, I can use it to get green dye. Combine that to make white dye. It might be easier to get sea pickles. I didn't know ferns were like biome specific, so I didn't know ferns were biome specific, so I didn't know ferns were biome specific, so couldn't find any. Okay, well there's a chance to get them if you mill poppies too. And I don't feel like making this a large adventure. I want this to be a quick thing I grabbed. So we're gonna just grab some poppies and take that risk. Just throw these in the belt. It's unfortunate. Okay, well that's not too far. Apparently the ferns can spawn in snowy taigas, and I've committed to this plan because I want to try out the thing I want to show you in a creative world. So I've committed to it. Grab my shears, and we will be on our way. The hurdles I make myself jump through to get these tasks done. Ferns. We've come all this way. The journey home to El Dorado. And they should add shell to the crate mod. They're great. Hey. So if I mix wheat flour and water in our mixer, it should give me dough. I can use to combine with lime dye to make slime balls, which is pretty handy. This is not anything I've seen online before, but I'm going to try and just wing it. Hopefully I make it work. Turns out Frogports do not work off of belts. They have to have chain conveyors, which is fine because I'm going to have to build up a network of chain conveyors anyway. So this has no problems actually. Okay, let's try this out. I've got these girders right here. These on top. I was wanting to build these anyway to eventually have this mode of delivering items across my base. But yeah, I was wanting to build these to connect all my base's storage up eventually anyway. So right now, if I can just do this, bottom, a gearbox, I'll make some more of the shafts. I will put just like so, and down here, place a water wheel in any direction really. Place this water wheel down. Connect these up to the gearbox. It's not gonna be the fastest, but I don't really need speed on this. If I end up wanting it, I can dig that down a little bit, add some gear ratios like I did over on this one. Over here, I'll put a packager directly hooked it up to the item vault. Frogport on top. Click this in right here. This one can send and receive. This one will catch packages. Right now it'll catch any package. I don't need to mess with that. Later on, when I want to send to other vaults and things like that, I'll need to have to name my vaults so it knows where to send and receive certain packages. For right now, this should be just fine. Okay, so now if we remove the chute and connect this packager directly up to a vault, that should be able to send items to the vault. Okay, I made this complicate myself for no reason. Okay, that should be working. Something that's not in the system. So if I do my diamond pick, will that show up in this system? That's in there. Okay, so it's not linked up. Okay, now all we need to hook up these two vaults is another stock link. So if I walk over here and look at this stock link with this one and right click, they are now connected together to the same network. All I have to do is put that on the side of this. Now they're connected successfully. So if I go down here, should be in there unless it's stuck in the chute. Okay, I was having a hard time figuring out why I could not connect this packager to just automatically send out the thing. Automatically send out whatever's in the vault. So instead what I did for right now is I just give this one a redstone signal. I'll have to do more research between episodes to figure that out. That way it can send the items from this farm directly in here. So now if I go over to this vault, look down, see my diamond pick that was in the storage for the Mac farm. There we go. So just to make sure this farm is working, what I'm going to do is get a little bit of bone meal. This is already 57. Let's grow it. It's matured. See when it comes back around what the machine does. Might need to put a fence around this build for guys like this. But it harvested and replanted it. Now it's dropping it off. Potatoes go in. They're automatically sent out down the chain conveyor. Just want to make sure it gets them working. Sends it in, and now potatoes are in my farm. I'm going to replace this frogport actually just so it goes a smidge faster. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Got a lot of productive stuff done this episode. These farms and the store would be very helpful in the future with helping getting projects more organized. I got some more farms I'll build in the next episode. We'll finally get into some more building. I'm very excited about. I want to transform this terrain and see what I can do. I already have the build kind of planned out. It's based on a real life project, or a real life building, I guess I should say, that was inspired to recreate. Hopefully I can use this building to fit some of the smaller create mod blocks that help with the smaller farms, to automate a couple things like, you know, some andesite casings, cooking, washing, other small things like that. I have a general idea of what I want to do, but we'll see once I get into it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate the support. I'll catch you guys in the next one.